Welcome back to Steve-O's Fishing. Today we're going to do a quick little video because I plan on going fishing soon, but I needed to get through and make sure I had everything in my backpack. So we're going to go through what is in my fishing backpack. Let's go. Alright, so first I'm going to show you what backpack I use. This one I got a couple years ago, I think 2 years ago. It's a Plano. It holds 3,600 size tackle boxes. I think 4 of them. So usually that's what I use, the utility boxes. And then there's also a little compartment at the top that you can put like some bags and other items that will fit in there. Basically anything you can jam in there would work, but it'll fit 4, maybe 5 3,600 size. So this is the bag I use. So the first thing we'll go through what I like to take with me on there. There's a couple items I don't have in here. Being someone that films their fishing videos, what I like to do is I keep power banks, I think they call them, and it's charging right now because I plan on going fishing in a couple days. So what I use that for is like it's a lightning charger kind of thing. So what I can do is my GoPro, because I only have one GoPro, so what I do with that is once it needs charging, I'll usually set it down, put it on that, and usually within 20 to 25 minutes it's pretty much a full charge. So I only don't lose that much of fishing time when I am out there taping. So that is not in this bag, but it is something that I take with me all the time, just to charge my GoPro when I need to. Then the most important thing in the bag, and I used to keep it on the outside of the bag, but the one I got is kind of crappy, but that would be the fishing license. So you want to make sure that you're legal while you're out there. The fine is pretty horrendous. One guy that sometimes goes fishing with me and Adam, he says he'll fight the law, and eventually the $300 fine, I think it is, will turn into the state owing him money. So we'll see how that works out for him, but I just spend the 30-some bucks and buy my own fishing license with a trout stamp and a Lake Erie permit. So that's the first thing that's in there. Then I got this I found, I couldn't find a better one anywhere. I don't know, that was relatively cheap. So this is actually a cooking thermometer that I use for earlier on in the year, like for the next month or so. I'll test the water temperature just to see kind of what we're dealing with, and I just hold it in there, for about till it regulates, and then that's when I usually can tell. Just kind of see if they're going to be active or not active. Not that it means everything, but just kind of give us idea until the water gets to a certain part after spawn and stuff like that, where you don't really have to worry about getting a temp all the time. So that's the next thing that I keep with me all the time. Then I also have a wacky rig tool. There's a couple O-rings on it. I just keep that in there all the time just in case I want a wacky rig. It fits in there. It's pretty small, compact, but what happens is, you put the worm, the stick bait in there, and then you slide the O-rings over top, and instead of threading the hook through the stick bait itself, you thread it through the O-rings. You make like an X with them. Maybe I can show that in a future video, and that's how I hook them up for a wacky rig, but that usually won't be until summertime. So, but I always keep it in there with me. And then also, I have in here a bottle of JJ's Magic. I got this actually on sale back when it was Field and Stream here, before they switched to Sportsman's Warehouse. And what I do with this is, I haven't used it yet, but it's a garlic scent attractor. Plus it also dyes the soft plastic or the jig trailer or whatever you want to dye that color. And this is like a chartreuse color. So what you can do is, if you just have like a June bug stick bait and you want a chartreuse at the end of it, maybe there's sunfish in the area or whatever, then you can dip that in there for like 3 to 5 seconds, let it dry off, and then you'll have a garlic scented tipped chartreuse stick bait all there. So I keep that in there with me. Like I said, I haven't opened it up yet, so hopefully the way after I open it up and then I put it back in there. It won't leak everywhere because I heard horror stories about that. But right now, that's in there. So that's my one compartment. Then I also have another compartment where I keep other important stuff. So these are some gloves. I'll be needing them this time of year until it gets warm enough and not windy that you don't need them. But these I actually got a little bit ago in one of my unboxings. They're from Fish Monkey, but I keep those gloves in there. Just, you never know when you're going to need them, and it's better to be comfortable while you're fishing than be miserable. And I also have a scale that we're going to be using when we go and do our tournaments and challenges and stuff like that. We're going to need to get some weights on that, so I made sure I got the same scale that Adam had so that we can measure these fish. And this one actually stores up to 10 weights in there, so it should work just perfectly fine for our needs. But keep that in, and then there's lip grippers there with a measuring tape there. So this comes with me all the time because you never know when you're going to get that PB, which hopefully we do that this year. Then I have braid scissors. This is important, especially if you fish with any kind of braid, because the pliers have a little spot where they can cut with, but it won't cut certain types, specifically braid. So bought a pair of braid scissors. I keep those in there all the time, especially if I have to retie a leader because it broke off or whatever. I have that in the bag. And I also have 3-ring pliers, or split ring pliers. These I haven't actually used them yet before, but I noticed that some of my split rings or some of my treble hooks are getting a little rusty. So what I plan on doing is being able to switch those out. I bought some in an order here, hashtag stimulated, but they so I'll have them out in the field, so if something doesn't look good or they don't feel that sharp and I'm missing fish, I can switch them out in the field. Then I also carry some extra line, or as my wife calls it, wire. I had to correct her multiple times, and for some reason the wire still sticks with her. So if she's watching, I have extra wire in my bag. But this is 15 pound. Normally I use this for my braid to jig rod, so I'll put that leader on there, but I just keep that on there extra in case I need to add new leader. And that's pretty much all this is kept in here for. If I need a whole new spool, I'm just going to be putting that down. I'm not going to take and try to re-spool a line out in the field. I just won't use that lure anymore for the application, just do it at home. And then I also have 12 pound in case I want a little lighter leader. So I got 12 pound and 15 pound. That's usually probably the lowest I'm going leader wise when I'm fishing jigs. So that's that. Then the only other thing that I have in my bag, other than the baits when I'm going to be fishing, are some needle nose pliers. These are imperative, especially if you're fishing with treble hook baits. So when you're holding the fish and they're stuck, because those things seem to be so sticky and they grab more hands than they do fish sometimes. So that, and these ones actually have a little clipper there, so they'll actually clip line. And I've had these for probably 10 to 15 years. They're pretty nice and durable, and I haven't lost them yet, which is surprising because normally every fisherman loses a pair. The only other thing I bring that isn't in the bag is I bring sunblock. So I always spray down if I'm fishing and I don't have, if I'm in a sleeveless shirt or if I don't have a hat on, or my face or my legs, I put sunblock on, and then also off spray, because a lot of times when you're fishing, you're going to be around spots where there's a lot of mosquitoes and bugs, so it's nice to have that stuff. So this is just a quick video to show you what I have in my bag. If you can, maybe post comments below about things that maybe I didn't think of or that aren't in my bag that are in your bag that you take with you all the time. I'm always open to ideas, and I try to be the most prepared out there when I'm fishing. So the next video hopefully is a fishing video. I think Erie, PA is finally getting some nice weather this upcoming week, and I'm going to try to hit up some fishing spots in a couple days here. Hopefully we have some success and we can land our first largemouth or smallmouth of the season. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.